Hey, this is John with FixYourDirtBike.com, and this is how the front hub works on your 1997 through 2001 Honda CR250. Your hub components are the axle, spacers, bearings, bearing seals, axle nut, and pinch bolts. The wheel bearings are the most important part of the wheel hub. These are the only parts of the wheel hub that actually move. The inner bearing race rides on the axle, and the outer bearing race is a press fit into the bore of the hub. The inner and outer bearing race are connected with ball bearings. Depending on the manufacturer, some bearings come pre-greased and shielded on both sides, while others are only shielded on one side and need to be greased before install. These particular bearings are from Factory Links. They are double shielded, pre-greased, and I highly recommend them. They go for $20 on Amazon.com, and you can buy yours through the link below. Wheel bearings are the only point of contact between the wheel and the bike, so the forces put on them are extremely high. Because of the stress the wheel bearings are put under, they must be in perfect working order. Bearings do wear down, but can last for a very long time when properly installed and maintained. When the bearings become damaged or contaminated, like the ones you see here, they must be replaced. You can learn how to replace your front wheel bearings here. The bearing seals keep contaminants out of the hub and away from your bearings. Compromised seals are the main cause of bearing failure. Any type of contaminant will drastically reduce the lifespan of your bearings. The spacer between the bearings is called the distance collar, and it connects the inside bearing races inside the hub. The spacers on the left and right of the hub connect the bearings to the axle mounts and keep the wheel positioned on the axle. Spacers need to be an exact length. If they are too short, your forks will bend in as you torque the axle nut. This will lead to fork binding and premature wear. The axle holds all the parts of the hub and connects them to the forks. The axle nut holds the hub together when mounted on the forks. The axle nut must be torqued to manufacturer's spec to allow the hub to work correctly. If the nut is too loose, the spacers and seals will spin, causing damage to the axle. If the nut is too tight, it may warp the inner bearing race, destroying your bearings. Your axle nut must be torqued to 65 pound-feet. The pinch bolts secure the axle to the forks. These bolts also need to be torqued correctly, or the axle will spin in the mounts, causing damage to both the forks and the axle. Because the axle connects the two forks, you must torque the axle nut first, then the pinch bolts on the same side. Before you torque the pinch bolts on the opposite side, you need to compress the fork several times to ensure the mounts are aligned to the fork properly. If the forks are not aligned, they will bind and damage the fork tubes. Your pinch bolts must be torqued to 14 pound-feet. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.